Swami sir, let me come back to the point about global growth projections. In fact, the IMF's projections are not very different from RBI's growth projections, which had mentioned that GDP is expected to grow from 6.2% to 6.5% within that range. But how do you look at the quality of this growth, and is this growth percentage enough?
Look, everybody is agreeing that India is a highly resilient economy which has taken so many shocks in its stride that whatever is happening, it is a shock. There is a Trump shock. But the expectation is that a country that, went through COVID and went through the post-COVID things. I mean, I always keep repeating, 2023, it was called The World is on Fire. This was what Larry Summers said. And the revised figure for India in that year is 9.2%. So when the rest of the world was burning, India did 9.2. So there is no question that when conditions are bad and all our neighbors had to run to the IMF for help, India did so well. So India, there are a lot of very fundamentals which are clicking for India right now. That means that no matter what happens, India should be able to do quite well. The world economic outlook, overall asset, it may have improved compared with April, but overall the outlook is certainly slower than it used to be, as was said by Mr. Pant. The world is nowhere near like the euphoric things that we had from 2022, from 2000 to 2020, when things were much better. Of course, remember, China in those days was growing in double digits. Now it's down to 4% to 5%. All I can say is yes, so the whole world thing has slowed down. India has shown itself to be an exceptional performer. But I would add that please let us not take these projections so seriously and going into each decimal point, because every quarter these things will be revised. We have no idea at this point why exactly US tariffs are going to end. We have very little idea of to what extent exporters will be able to absorb the effects of the Trump tariffs, to what extent they will be passed on and thus cause inflation. If that happens, will it then result in an American slowdown, an American recession even? Will it then lead to very bad midterm election for the congressional elections in the USA, which will blunt Mr. Trump? Or on the other hand, will he get away with it and will he then continue further and further? You see, once upon a time, people used to say that a US president is not very, very effective in his last 2 years. But we have a new situation where we have a president doing everything by executive order. This was never done before. Earlier, you had to get congressional approval, other people's approval. This guy just says every damn thing is an emergency, and under an emergency, I can do anything. I think we are also going to see the courts restraining Mr. Trump in various ways.